oh, you're getting paid $20,000 to change a light bulb. No, you're not. No, you're not. That kind of propaganda has seemed to spread like wildfire. You know, there's people out there that really think we're getting that kind of money to change a light bulb. That's one of the jobs I do currently. That's nowhere near true. The pay should be way more than what most climbers get. I've seen climbers come in as low as $17, $18 an hour, starting out green hands. Personally, I believe that nobody should touch a tower and get on these things without proper compensation. There's times that you're working 60, 70 plus hours a week. Climbers should be making better than 50 an hour doing some of these jobs. I do believe that there's iron workers out there that are making 50, 60 bucks an hour, and their jobs aren't nearly as dangerous as what we're sometimes getting ourselves into. I feel like the matrix pricing has affected companies to the point where that's all they can pay. So they're looking, you know, for cheaper ways to save money on production and stuff from their companies. So that being said, it's like they don't feel like they should have to pay climbers, you know, what they're worth. Granted, there's climbers out there that aren't worth, they shouldn't be on the tower. The pay should definitely be better than what it is currently, even as foremen, because right now I think a lot of guys are topped out at around 30 bucks an hour if you're a foreman. I think they're paying between 25 and 28 for top hands, you know. That's still very low considering the conditions that these guys have to get in, you know, the circumstances they're climbing in, the rush that's pushed, the deadlines that's got to be made. Yeah, you're not paying for that. They're not paying for the compensation to put our bodies and risk our lives to hurry up with their agendas and their deadlines. The climbers don't make those promises to those people. Their managers are the ones that make these promises to their customers and expecting their climbers to uphold the promises they made for the deadlines. But they don't want to pay for those hurry up and get this job done sites. Lots of climbers will get promised a raise or better position. It never happens. There's a lot of guys that they'll get told this, you know, we're going to give you a raise, we're going to review your work, you know, how you've been progressing with our company. And these guys never see a raise, you know, though they never see a promotion. So it's a lot of smoke and mirrors a lot of the times with some companies. There's some climbers that work jobs and aren't paid. That's become a real problem. Not getting paid in a timely order, net 30, net 45, you know, all these payment terms coming from companies or the clients. That's ridiculous. You know, you're not letting us take our time to build the sites. Why should we allow you to take your time to pay us once the job's complete? There's a lot of frustration with pay. You know, you got carriers that are cutting POs by 50% or more sometimes. You know, and it's just went downhill over the years. So where's the real benefit for a climber anymore? You know, what's in it for the climber anymore? That's the real question. What is in it for us to continue to do these jobs for you guys that you won't do yourself? That's what really needs to be asked. That's what really people should question. What's the benefit? What's the risk? Does the benefit outweigh the risk? A lot of climbers will say, yeah, to them, you know, it's an adventure for them. They love the job. There's a passion there. So there's climbers I've talked to that don't care about the money. It's like, I didn't care about the money. You know, it was just, I just wanted to be up there, feel important, and be a part of something. After a period of time and realizing that, you know, companies were taking advantage of certain climbers that were really good at the job and not trying to compensate them for their skill, I started changing my mind about that. Then I got to a point where I'm not touching this tower without getting paid. A lot of climbers don't know how to say no, and that's a problem. They want to get their foot in the door. These new guys, they want to get their foot in the door into something, but they don't know what they're getting their foot in the door to. They don't understand what's to come. You got problems with companies out there agreeing to take these terms, and some of these terms shouldn't be agreed on, and that's my opinion. I'm sure others would say different, you know, and things like that, but definitely the compensation should be better than what it is. Better benefits, fairness. There's no fairness to it.